Good morning from the glorious state of Washington. Who's that? A big front mount VA STI just drove by me, and I ain't never seen it before. From the glorious state of Washington, glorious city of Spokane, where it's nice and snowy still. Today I'm going to be working on my all-wheel drive Civic Type R. Now this is something I've been wanting to do for a while. I love the car. Of course, we're dealing with little electrical issues here and there, and I'm kind of getting sick of dealing with those issues, and I want to do something fun. I really want to do something fun on the car. The car sounds good, right? I spent at least 7 days. I would say at least 7 days fabricating the downpipe, the entire exhaust system, the catback, the dump tube for the wastegate, all that stuff. And while I like how it sounds, the car is just so ridiculous that I feel like the very mellow, tamed down exhaust doesn't really do the build justice. So I guess I'll just cut straight to the point. Today, I'm going to be building a hood exit exhaust system for the Type R. Now I'm going to keep the catback, of course. I'll probably leave it on the car. I could just swap downpipes, which is probably a 15-minute ordeal. But I feel like I don't know if I'm ever going to go back to a full exhaust. Maybe for a road trip or something, if the car's ever capable of doing a road trip. So yeah, that's exciting. It's going from really, really quiet, pretty quiet, where it sounds like a built STI, I would say. Surprisingly, it does actually sound like a Subaru, and it's going to sound like the EM1 now. Brap, 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 brap. Should sound good. Now, if you've never heard this car before, here's a quick cold start for the boys. Like I said, man, it sounds good, it's quiet, but it's too quiet. It is a good sound though. I do have a boost activated, I guess you'd call it, exhaust dump. It's right before the muffler. That opens at 6 pounds of boost, so that does help out when you're under wide open throttle. But I'm dying to build this freaking hood exit, so let's do it. Now for the time being, I'll probably just run it with no hood. Well, I will run it with no hood in case I just hate it so much that I don't want to run this hood exit. But in the instance that I do enjoy it, I'll probably do a cutout in the hood and then build a nice block off plate for it. Yeah, it's not gonna be quite as clean as it is now, but running this thing full time with no hood would be a bit ridiculous. And the only space, if you take a look in the bay here, the only space for this to work is to come out right about here. If we grab just a random piece of 3-inch, probably be something like that. Now I don't have any sort of tip, but we can take care of that later on, provided I do like this. We can make it nice later. Tight fit, but the downpipe is out. Now technically speaking, I could fire it up right now, get a kind of a rough idea of what it would sound like, because there's just no downpipe at all. Our downpipe is gonna be about 2 feet long at the end of this. So let's have some fun. Today's a fun type of day. These are my favorite types today. I wish every day was just gooning around. All right. Nice. That's loud. So laid out on the table here is a bunch of pipe and bends, a flange for the turbo, Type 45, some other 45s, some 90s, this 45 here, and then some straight. Now, of course, we need to start out right at the turbo. I'm assuming coming right out of the turbo is gonna be a 90. And by the way, if you're wondering where I get all my material for building anything nowadays, it's all from a company called Ace's Race Parts. They sell a ton of Ton of goodies. So it looks like that 90 is gonna be the trick. Should be exactly what we need. So it's gonna run over there, right underneath the exhaust manifold and come up and out. Started off with just a couple light tacks, tacked the flange onto this 90 right here. Let's get this guy clamped in place and then we can kind of map out what we're doing from here. There should only be maybe four joints total, I would think, 3 or 4. I'm hoping at least. So it's quick and easy and we can go for a rip. So next up, we need a 20-inch piece of straight. Now I'm going deliberately long, and I can trim it down if needed. I'd rather do that versus have to tack on another inch or 2. Now I don't have anything in regards for like a saw. I literally have a cutoff wheel and a plastic table and a TIG. So I don't have much in the way of fab, but what I do have is tape. With tape, you can create a very, very straight line. And then with a cutoff wheel, you can get it pretty freaking good. Ta-da. Now there's probably better tools for this, but I like to grab a round file and pull off all the burrs on the inside. Let's do a fit up test. Here's an uncut piece. Now is it perfect? It ain't perfect. Is it pretty freaking good and mint enough to weld? Easily. Now let's see how this guy is gonna work. Tack number 2. Wha-bam. Now from that straight piece we just welded on, another 90 right here, and then it should be a straight shot out. Of course, we're gonna have to do some heat management around that wiring harness, but not a big deal. And hopefully we'll be done. Make sure it fits right, make sure it's easy to install and remove for the future, and we can weld it up, fully weld it up. It comes up around the manifold to that 4-inch straight piece there. There's a 15-degree pie cut right there, and then it can just be a straight shot all the way out, however far we end up needing it. But for now, like I said, no hood. A couple more tacks. I gotta tack that 3-inch, the pie, to this here 8-inch. It's gonna look a little funny for now until we get a tip. This should be the last of it. So it's gonna go like that. The thing I'm worried about is getting this installed. Unless I could get it installed from this side, I don't know if this whole thing is gonna fit in from that driver's side. Now, if possible, of course, I would love to keep this thing one piece, but I could always add a V-band right over here if I needed. I don't want to though, but if I have to, I will. Let's quickly just tack on our exit and see if we can get it in there. That might be a tough fit. Look at our beautiful downpipe. Wow. It ain't looking hot. It ain't gonna fit from that side. Ooh. Oh boy, this is bummy. I'm going to need to add a V-band on the passenger side strut tower. Not a big deal, super easy to do. I just don't have one here. So for temporary usage, I'm gonna be using a 73 to 81 millimeter T-bolt clamp. Hold up, let me try to tighten that some more. I didn't like how that fell off. That'll work to go drive it 2 miles. So that V-band will be added in on this joint here. Let's go ahead, get all of the joints fully welded up, and then the last thing that we need to add on at the very end will be the O2 sensor bung. Both pipes are finished up. I went ahead and ordered a V-band. That is what is gonna connect to these guys here. And one day when we're bored, we can get that installed. But for now, let's get this installed with our T-bolt clamp and see how the freak she sounds. Hopefully cool. Well, I know it will be cool. It's a freaking K-series. They all sound good. If I like this hood exit as much as I think I will, I'll cut it, and then I can put a stock downpipe or the other downpipe on in like 2 minutes. So I'll just build a block off plate if that's the case. I got it. Hood is off. Shall we do it? Shall we fire old girl up and see how she sounds? I do need to pull these off, but let's start to get her warmed up. Gonna zip tie my mic up here so we get full sound effects. The T-bolt ain't gonna last, so we probably shouldn't go too far. Oh man, I'm sad. I was gonna go drive the car, cruise to the coffee stand to go do something, but thankfully I went and took a look first, and it melted some of the loom around the harness. Thankfully all the wiring, all that's fine. It'll take 2 minutes to fix, as of right now. But if I go drive it more, it's probably gonna melt some wiring, and I'm not trying to build another harness for this car. And the reason for that is being that our exhaust tip fell off. It's just shooting the exhaust right on the harness right now. So that's done for the day. This thing sounds absolutely ridiculous. I love how the frick it sounds. Comment below what you think. I feel like it matches the car a little bit better. Now, I don't know how I'm gonna make the hood exit clean looking with the carbon hood, but we'll figure that out later on. I'm excited. I need to get that V-band in, and then I can just deal with the hood stuff later on. Of course, the heat management around that harness, I need to figure that out, move the harness a little bit. Here, let me show you guys how the harness looks right now. It looks a little bit janky, but it's gonna be a super easy fix. She's definitely rowdy and rambunctious. I'm very happy that I came out and I saw that. Like I said, it's just the loom that goes around the harness, so it'll be a few seconds to fix. But let's wrap it up right here. I really want to drive it. Dang. Too fun, man. Too freaking fun. Loud pipes save lives. Goodbye.